And then only later on, when I was done with varsity, because I completed my LLB degree at
Hey,
University of Limpopo.
Shout out to you, bro.
Yeah,
I don't know what that means, but it sounds dope.
No, it's a Bachelor of Laws.
Okay. You know
Yeah,
what,
yeah.
I will LLP. I will. Man, dog, come on, man.
It sounds like a category on Pornhub, dog.
Oh, my BBW, BBC. Yeah, I get you.
And but ladies and gentlemen, please welcome one of SA's favorite actors, CLEMENT MAOSA.
Yeah.
I got it right, man?
Yeah.
AKA Kwaito from Skeem Saam.
Sure.
Kezo, welcome.
Kezo.
You know we both Limpopo boys, from the village, eh? Yeah.
So Limpopo Connect.
Yeah.
Omugwebo.
Are ladies still sending you nudes, bro?
Which ladies now?
You know you were sending.
No. None of that.
What do you mean?
Is this how we start in the show?
Pick up my news.
Okay,
He's a ladies' man.
man.
He's a ladies' man, eh? Ladies love him.
No,
though.
man. I think I'm a late bloomer.
Okay.
Yeah, so very shy, Christian, so I.
What do you mean by late bloomer?
No, like Lujicha, sexy, whatnot.
Arju, tell you, man.
No. Look why the character high.
Yeah.
He's not a ladies' man.
Yeah. So why do you think ladies love you so much?
Maybe because of social media. Because I'm very active on social media. Yeah.
Is that the key? Because I don't get nudes, bro. Do you get nudes?
I used to. Even videos, I used to.
Yeah.
Not lately. I mean, last I got was like last December.
Damn.
Yeah.
Mara, what do you do? How will I
been dry.
DM or wanna?
You must tell us you're the one who
No, I
gets
don't. I don't. I was afraid to know. No.
Anyway, man. Let's start from your journey, man. You grew up in the village, like I said. How's that like for you? Which village was it?
Bochum, it's number one. Yeah.
Okay.
Like deep in the rural areas of Limpopo.
Yeah.
I think it's 120 kilometers away from Polokwane.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I grew up as this child. Negilo quiet too much, right? Negidisha di kgomo tša batswadi. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so my father na bereka ko Maburu, right? So nona le dikgomo tše paya, so negidisha di kgomo, dinku, dipudi, and then that was basically my childhood. But then go sekolong, I was always like focused. Yeah.
Is there a way like you can do the whole kgomo thing? Like, is there a specific skill you need for that?
Yeah, let's say milking the cow. You need to have a skill for that. Yeah.
So you know what
I was a master. Yeah.
What's the skill?
No, man, you need to know how to sharp a flate. And then, so normally una le tapo, and then you wrap it around maoto a kgomo, and then waifasa, and then le mo manakeng waifasa ko motlhareng, and then from there you just milk. But also you must know which side, or which side, on the right hand side or the left hand side. Yeah.
Hey, that's wild,
Yeah.
Why you faster the horns though?
Eh?
Why do you?
So that it doesn't move a lot. So you're trying to limit the movement.
Oh.
Yeah. But also for your own safety. Yeah, because it can be dangerous.
Can you slaughter the cow? You know, like at these ceremonies we have as black people, can you slaughter the cow?
Stunya.
Eh?
Stunya.
What?
Stunya.
You shoot the cow?
The gun, yeah.
No,
You
man.
shoot the cow?
That's what I was trying, man.
Mara nanga skhono e bola kgomo. Maybe pudu ba kapa nku.
Why was I going to play kgomo?
A jo ke kgolo mon. Sala ka nyoko go ba actually ke na le ba di somewhere ba re ba bola kgomo, so I think my cousin on throw her into the whole thing. Yeah, today you're the one who's going to slaughter. And then ke na le makoko, I'm like, yeah, I can do it. And then ba mpampaka like a very sharp knife.
Yeah.
Fitla kuwa the first time I get attempt ane ya ntlhaba ka lenaka. And then ga wela fast from there I was like, "Ai, ke sharp."
Damn.
Yeah.
That sounds like an extreme sport, dog.
It is.
Yo.
Where did it poke you, man?
Yeah, Mosorope.
And you very opened up.
Yeah, just a little scar.
The horns got into there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why you gotta tie the horns.
Yeah, because it can get dangerous.
Oh.
Yeah.
So from that, why did you want to become a soldier then?
Geez, man. I think growing up, I've always been exposed to, I think, go high once you want to choose a career. It's either you want to be a policeman or a soldier or a teacher, because those were the careers that we were exposed to, right? And then out of the three that I've mentioned, I think that was one yellow ring. I was like, yeah, because I want to, man, when they say we're going to Russia or Ukraine, I want to be in the forefront and just, because I used to watch a lot of action movies. Yeah. So I felt like it can be like a Rambo.
Or like a steering.
Yeah.
Which action movies did you watch?
Which?
Action movies.
Yo, a lot, bruh. Recently or back then? Back then, Rambo. Yeah, I used to watch Rambo a lot. And then what's that movie?
Emmanuel.
That's this.
There is action there.
But there are no guns there.
Unless I feature.
No. But Three Ninja Kids, I think those were the movies that we used to watch back then. Yeah, because generator.
Yeah.
Remember, there was no electricity.
Yeah.
So we had a generator, and then they had those video cassette. And then they'll get people to come and pay 150 just to watch a movie. Yeah.
I used to like any Van Damme movie.
Yes, Van Damme as well. I used to watch a lot of
Double
Van Damme.
Impact.
Yeah. I watched that as well.
Did you notice every Van Damme movie was rocking, eh?
Yeah.
Always. I think he put it in like there must be a sex scene. There's always a sex scene, bro.
Yeah.
Hot
And I used to ask
targets,
myself,
everything.
how do they do it? Like, because before getting into the TV industry, I used to ask myself, man, but why it looks so real, right? It looks so real, where you're thinking that they're actually doing the deeds.
Yes.
Only to realize that, no, they were cheating it somehow. Yeah, they could be naked, but there's a way they're doing it. They're not necessarily like going in.
You haven't done a sex scene, eh?
I have.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Definitely not Skeem Saam.
No, even on Skeem
no
Saam.
action.
No. Oh, even on Skeem Saam, I did. But the thing about Skeem Saam, God, it's educational.
Okay.
Right? So they will just paint a picture that these people are about to... But we don't really get too... what's the term? Too explicit. Yeah. So when you start kissing, there's no changing of tongues and whatnot. As soon as you get in closer to each other, then it's cut.
Oh.
Yeah, but the viewer will see that as a sex scene, because they paint in that picture that these people are about to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Man, that would suck, dog. Because
What
I'm
do you
sure,
mean?
look, I'd want to kiss the girl.
No ways. Remember, there's a lot of crew, right?
Yeah.
So there could be like 4, 5, 6, 7 people around you. So you also get very nervous. So you're trying on, I want to go in. Sometimes you don't even get like a hat on, because you're thinking, I'm panicking, I'm thinking about my lines, this person is watching me, but also you're thinking about your other person or your person in real life. You're like, yeah, they're going to be comfortable with this. Yeah.
I remember when we were chatting now, you were saying like one thing that you want people to come out of this interview or podcast knowing is your childhood and how inspirational that is. Like, what do you want people to know, bro?
So the thing is, growing up as a villager, right? A lot of people don't know your story. They only see you when you sort of like successful.
Yes.
Right? And they think that you always had it easy. And for me, both my mom and dad were domestic workers, right? So we grew up very poor. And there used to be a lot of envy and anger within me, because I've always envied other kids to say, that one is from a rich family, they've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I couldn't afford even a label.
Because your parents were working for white people.
Yeah, they were. So for me, I used to be angry that sometimes even the things that I wanted, I never got as a kid. And as a kid, whenever you play in Gostrate, man, a lot of kids are saying, my dad came home with a pair of sneakers. And you realize that you will never get that. Also, you don't even have your own room. I was sharing with my sisters and my little brother. So that kind of setup. So I grew up very angry as a child to say, what have I done to deserve this? But later on, I think I changed that into me now working for what I want. But it wasn't easy, because I remember even when I went to varsity, I had no laptop, nothing. And I think the first lecturer, saying, it's like, we're giving you an assignment, right? And then you need to type it and submit it in 2 weeks, for an example.
Sure.
And then I go to computer lab. When I get there, I'm seeing a laptop for the first time or a computer for the first time. I don't even know how to type.
Yeah.
So now I'm literally typing like this, like
Wow.
one letter at a time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I used to, like, I think I grew up an angry child because of my situation. You know what I mean? But I've always had to adjust. Because even at class, I remember my first day, because from primary and high school, I used to be very active, right? I'll always be the first one to raise a hand to say, hey, I know the answer. Then when I got to varsity, I got there with the same attitude. And then I raised my hand, and then they're like, yeah, what's the answer, right? And then as I started speaking, a lot of people started laughing. And not that I didn't know the answer, but they were laughing at my accent, you know, because I was like, yeah, the cow is, and everyone was just like, they just burst out laughing.
Wow, what did that do to you, bro?
It took my confidence away.
Nah.
Yeah, it sort of like took my confidence away to a point where I realized that it's not by choice that, you know, I grew up the way that I did. And also it sort of like motivated me to work even harder, because I realized that for me to get to where MacG's at, I need to work twice as hard. Yeah.
No, 3 times, 10 times more.
Hey, Parktown boys.
Is that why you studied law? Because in some way you wanted to change the status quo.
Yeah. No, it's not the reason. How I studied law is that, Konje, what happened? Oh, I've always wanted to be an actor. So I wanted to be a soldier when I was in primary.
Sure.
But when I got to high school, I was like, no, man, I'm so active, and I think I'm passionate about acting, because I started acting when I was very young. We used to do like stage plays, right? So Hansike actor would go and compete like different districts, and as we perform, we used to win a lot of awards. You know, then I realized that, no, I really love this thing. And then I started taking it serious. And I told my parents that, listen, after completing my high school, I want to go to varsity and study LLB. And not LLB, I want to study film and production. I want to be an actor, right? And they said to me, no, you can never be an actor, because look at the people around you. Look at this community. Do you know of any celebrity from this community? And the answer was no. Yeah.
Wow.
From my community, I was the first. The closest person to me who made it before me was Punch Masnamel. He's a soccer player. I don't know if you know him.
Yeah.
He played for Chiefs, and then he went to Sundowns, and So he was from a village close to mine. Yeah, that was the only person that I knew that has made it. So when I told them, they were like, "Aye, well, no, tata ma chance, man, wa papa rata dilo."
Yeah.
So I sort of like started thinking that, no, man, this entertainment thing is for people in Joburg. For me, I must forget about it. I must just focus on, you know, heading my father's kettles. So I told them that I want to do acting, and they said to me, no, you can't do that. You can only do that as a part-time thingy or as a hobby, right? They even made some references to say we're always reading about celebrities, and, you know, they're into drugs and they don't have money, they die poor, and. So I realized that, no, maybe I shouldn't, right? But fast forward, when I was doing my matric, I set them down. I was like, yo, next year when I go to varsity, I really want to do acting. They're like, okay, we're giving you 2 options.
Okay.
Yeah, it's either you're going to be a lawyer or a doctor. And it was due to lack of information, because they didn't know a lot about.
These are your parents?
Yeah.
Okay.
When they were still alive.
Yeah.
Right. So they said, the way you're so smart, because I used to, I'm a top student.
Sure.
Right. From primary and high school, I was always part of the top 5 best performing learners. Yeah.
I hate niggas like this. He was a teacher's pet.
No, sure thing. Sure thing. I was. I'm not gonna deny it. So I was, and then they said, no. You're going to be a lawyer or a doctor. So now I was caught up between that, and they said, if you want to go and do this acting thing of yours, we're not going to pay for you. You're on your own, right? And I realized that, okay, the first thing that got to my mind then, I was like, for as long as I can pass matric and with flying colors, then for me, I'm breaking that generational curse. Because from both my mom and my dad's side, there's no one who went to varsity. And by that time, there was also no one who actually had a matric certificate. So I wanted to be the first one. So I decided that, you know what, for as long as I can just get an opportunity to go to varsity. So I decided that, okay, between medicine and law, medicine is going to take me 7 years, Joe.
Sure.
I was like, I'm not going to do that. So I decided to do law. But also I thought law is about acting as well. Because I believe that lawyers, when they go to court, you know, you'll be representing MacG really about and whatnot. But when you get to court, you're trying to portray this nice image, and you lie also. Yeah, so it's like it's closer to what I want to do.
Yes, they're acting.
Yeah.
You're right.
Because they lie.
Nah.
You know, so that's what I thought back then. And I was like, no, maybe I should do law.
Yeah.
So that's how I got into varsity. But also the story with that as well. My when I was doing my matric, right, around November, so my mother got ill. and she passed on, right? And it was before I could start with my final exams. So I was going through a lot also because I was only 17. Now I'm mourning the death of my mother. At the same time,
And you guys were close.
very close.
Yeah.
Very, 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 very close. So now it's my mother, she's gone, and then now I'm writing my final exams. And also, you know the stress that comes with like being in matric.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, you just want to pass and make sure that you
wanna be in the
get admitted.
newspaper.
Yeah, and be admitted into higher institution of learning. So I had to sort of like forget about what's happening in my life and just focus on education. Because for me, it meant a lot just to finish matric.
But your dad was there at the time.
My dad was there. Yeah. So I finished, and then now I started applying for the bursary and stuff. And my father, because I knew that he didn't have that much money. Actually, he didn't have money at all.
Sure.
Right?
But that's wild, a domestic worker with cows. That's crazy, right?
Yeah. And everything that we had, we knew that if we were to get something, he first need to sell one. So that's how we used to pay a lot of things. Even when I went to like school trips, he's been the one who will say, okay, I can chelete mara ke tla tjea kgomo e one ko rekishe and then pay for your fees.
Yeah.
So I applied to University of Limpopo, and then I got an admission letter. Fast forward the following year, around February, March, go to varsity, and then it's registration. And then he had to sell 2 of his cows so that he can pay for my registration. Paid registration, and then now I'm admitted, right? I'm at varsity, University of Limpopo, which was a whole new experience for me. Meeting people from different backgrounds, KZN, Mpumalanga, different languages. So I felt like I was alone there. Because to this new environment, now I don't have my mother. It felt like I was just all alone.
And you're still a virgin.
Of course. Only teenagers is touch.
Actually, I was a celibate for Yeah. Because also you must my future. So why see you? And then short left. Yeah, so I just felt like ish. By that time, honestly speaking, I think as soon as I lost my mother, but also because of my background, because you must impress. And back then, I'm not gonna lie to you, I was the ugliest according to the society, because they used to say mnyaman, you understand, ubi feel movie and all of those things.
Blakey.
So relationships was never my thing. I was just focused on fighting poverty and get out of that situation. Yeah, so I focused a lot on education. Then now I was at varsity. Varsity, it's a new territory altogether.
Sure.
Like I understand the sale, so it had its challenges here and there. And then when we were supposed to start with our lecturers, I got a call that my father passed on.
Oh my goodness.
Before I could even start attending, right? So now I just got into this new environment. I'm trying to make it. The very same person who encouraged me to go to school.
Of course, yes.
Now he's no more. And it hasn't been like 4 or 5 months after I lost my mother. So now it's like...
What happened to your mother? Why did she pass away? She was too sick.
Hey, you are. No, for real.
For real?
Yeah.
Even your dad?
Okay, let me just unpack the story. Yeah. So with my mother, got 2007, they had a wedding ceremony, right? And towards that, she was just not feeling okay, but it was like maybe stress organizing this big event that's about to happen.
Sure.
Right? And, geez, man. Hey, you guys.
It's crazy, no?
Yeah. So it's fine. So towards the wedding, she started getting sick, and then she recovered. Then they went ahead with the wedding ceremony. But she started seeing things because she was also a prophet.
Wow, okay.
Wow. Started seeing things, telling us, though, last night I dreamt of 1, 2, 3, 4. I saw this and that. So by then I was also young, so I didn't understand a lot of the spiritual realm. Yeah. I was just like, hey, what's going on here? But my focus was not even there, right? Immediately after the wedding ceremony, because it was like a huge ceremony, my mom and my dad say, hey, understand. So there were a lot of people that came. But then because my mother was from a very poor background, and she got married to a breadwinner in that family.
100%.
So there were a lot of hate from that side. You know, the woman. I mean, what?
Yeah, it's always like
yeah,
that,
it's like, hey, this and that and whatnot. So I think, yeah, we were going through that a lot, man. And, jeez. Okay, yeah, we were going through that. And Lorena never said rat. Because now my dad, situation I go high. My dad had like we grew up at my granny's place. All of us, the aunts, the uncles,
Everyone.
and their kids and everyone and the cousins. So now when my dad got married, he wanted to build his own house.
Yes.
But the problem is, he built a house just opposite his mother's house.
Whew.
So now, Harija over this side, oh, you guys came here, you took away our breadwinner. You know what I mean? That's where family conflict started. Yeah, I understand. So we started getting a lot of hate. And by that time, we were young, bro. Like, we're very, very young. So we started experiencing a lot of that to a point where I remember some of the words. They used to tell my mother a lot of harsh words. You know, hey, abutuaro now lotochi, all those things. Yeah, I understand. To a point where, and my mother was very sweet because when she buys like grocery and all of that, she'd always send us to take some to my granny's house.
Yes.
Yeah, but things just got out of control. So after the wedding, immediately after the wedding, she was just down. Right, to a point where she got admitted to hospital, and for a whole year she was sick.
Wow.
And the worst thing is, every time she goes to hospital to try and find out what's happening, there's a different diagnosis every day. Today is a headache, tomorrow it's a blood clot, tomorrow it's something else. And
They don't know, they can't
They
tell.
also don't know. You know what I mean? So she went through that to a point where she was no longer working anymore because she was working as a domestic worker. So she wasn't working anymore. And now meaning that there's less salary. It's only my dad, right? Fast forward, she just got worse and worse and worse. And, you know, batho ba bolela, hey, wa lwala, o tshwere ke eng, hey, that's because of what, this and that and whatnot. And we didn't understand what was going on. By that time, I also started seeing things now, because I remember this one night, I was with my little brother. So we're together, kara 2-room. Right? At night, I could hear things, man, go masenke, goof, goof, goof. And I'm like, what's going on? And then toilet, like, howly toilet is like in a kilometer.
Yes. It's out,
So
it's
having
at
to
the
wake
back.
up like 12 midnight, going to the toilet. Ha ke etswa fela ka mo lapeng, e ke tlhakana le this huge animal. Even today, my boy, I can't explain what
Serious,
kind of,
Clement?
I'm telling you.
And you know a lot of animals, so but you couldn't
Yeah,
identify
that one
this
I've never seen. You understand? A black, it looks like a monkey, but it looks like a person. And Joe, but funny enough, back then,
No ways.
I'm telling you,
Yo,
I stood there and I froze and I was like, what's going on? Do you know what I mean? And back then, funny enough, I wasn't as scared. Because now I'm thinking about it, I'm like, if it happened now, I'd be shitting in my pants.
Yeah. I'm shitting my pants right now. Jesus.
Yeah. And then, yeah, man, around that time, there was just a lot happening. And I remember 2 weeks after my mother passed on. 2 weeks after my mother passed on, this other time, I was taking my little brother to the toilet. And then there was just this huge snake,
Hey, man.
right, crossing. And as it's crossing, right, we froze. Like, you start feeling, I don't know how to describe that kind of feeling, but it's like an out-of-body experience where you can see what's happening, but your body's not responsive. You're just there, like you're paralyzed, right? And I just held on to my little brother, and then I looked the other side because the other house was not far from us. And then there was somebody standing there by the fence, right? And then after that thing passed, that person also walked away.
What the fuck, bro?
I'm telling you, like I kid you not, right?
that person was just looking at you guys, saying nothing.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, why are you not coming to help us? You know what I mean? Because you see what's happening. Clearly, you can't just stand there by the fence and you're not saying anything.
And you didn't see who it was?
I didn't.
Sure.
Yeah. So from there, I started realizing that there's a lot happening. Fast forward years, we buried my mother. But funny enough, even on the burial day, right, I never even cried. Right? Everyone was there. People were like losing their mind, crazy. And there were a lot of like family feud.
Sure.
You understand? People were like, yeah, that's because of this. And you know when there's a funeral, there's gonna be a lot of people who come and say different kind of things.
Yes.
No,
People are mourning.
we know who took your mother. You guys must go to this inyanga. You guys must go to this prophet. You guys must do this and that and whatnot. They understand. But the worst thing is the people that we expected to take care of us and be there for us are the same people who are hating on us, telling us that now your mother is gone. We'll see who'll take care of you. You know what I mean? And I was only 17. Yeah. My little sister was, she was 13, and then the last born was 9 years old.
Hey, man. Clement, this is wild, dog.
I'm telling you. So right now when people say, hey, Limpopo Boloy, I'm like, I don't think so. But because I'm from a village where I experienced a lot of that, then it makes sense. Because I remember at some point, Nerloko Skolong, and then there was Paraking Lagadima, like a lightning. And then there was some child whose shirt was torn apart, right? And then the community went to the nearest lake. Is it a lake or a pond?
Whatever it is.
Yeah, whatever it is, or the dam.
Body of water.
Yeah, because they say the person who struck a lightning, if you want to catch them, you must go to the nearest dam. You'll find them washing off whatever thing that they use. So they went there, they found that person, and then they started having like a mob justice.
Ways.
To a point where they had to chase that person away from that community to go elsewhere.
Saul, are you
relocate.
hearing this, dog?
Crazy, bro.
What?
Yeah,
Are you
never
being
seen
real?
this.
I'm
Witchcraft
telling you
thing.
the truth. Telling you the truth.
Hey, guys, are you guys hearing this? Hey, man, this is wild, dog.
Honestly,
Nah, I'm
people-
telling you. So sometimes I ask myself for the reason why I'm alive. I'm like, there must be a bigger purpose because according to how I grew up, I was supposed to be gone by now.
So don't you fear with all your success, that the same people who bewitched your mom, would come for you?
No, I don't. And I'll tell you why I'm not afraid is because later on I started realizing that I also have my own race. There's certain things that I still need to achieve. And also, there's a bigger power, right? We all pray to God or whatever superior power. So when God placed you on planet Earth, right, there's a reason for that. And before that reason is fulfilled, I believe that nothing will happen to you.
100%.
Yeah, but also as human beings, there's a certain protection that you have. Yeah, I understand. You might have a protection, whether from your ancestors or God, and your child might not have the same protection. That's what I believe in. So I just believe that the reason why they spared my life is because there's certain things that I need to achieve, and maybe my life has to be a testimony.
Do you believe in Buloy?
Now that I've seen it, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
Now-
how do you
now
protect
that I've
yourself
seen it.
against such?
How?
What do? Do you lawyer back?
Well, he
That's
is a
to the
lawyer.
sender. No, man, I don't. I think from there, my faith was more revived, and I started praying a lot, and I started just aligning myself with God or the power there is. Yeah.
And your ancestors?
I'm slowly starting to, because growing up, they used to tell us, what's about Christianity, ne? They will say, no, there are no ancestors and whatnot, and then they say, we call them angels.
Yes.
Or mangeloi.
Yes.
So I grew up knowing Ronald mangeloi, only to realize later on that those are angels.
Yes.
Yeah, so I do recognize that.
And Umzion?
Yeah, so from my mother's side and my father's side, both ke Masion. But from my mother's side, ke Baleba, the dove. And then my father's side, ke Naledi, the star. Yeah. Yeah.
So when last were you at Moria?
Hey, Joe, a long time ago. 2016.
I've been trying to get Saul there. Tell him how beautiful it is.
Nah, you must go there.
okay,
you
bro.
must go there.
Anytime, bro. I'm game.
You must go there. Actually, no, last year, December, actually, I went. Yeah.
So pet, hey, khale get to know pet. No?
I go no pet.
What's a pet?
It's like, how do I put it in English? Petataelo, man. It's like they give you whatever they give you. If you're willing again, they say this is the muti that you have to use. So you going through those processes to say every day you're gonna drink this water. So petatae. That's what I think it means.
Yeah.
Oh.
And most of the time at church, it's like to drink tea and cleanse your
nothing
body.
hectic.
Yeah.
It's just that you're doing what you're supposed to do. There's a certain mandate that you need to follow through.
They told me I need to stop drinking. I'm like, I'll come back.
Why can't you stop?
Hey. It's too nice. So with all that happening, is that why you got into depression?
Depression was later on. So let me take you back to that. So after that, we buried my mother, okay, sharp. No go skolo. Then my dad started getting sick.
Sure.
Right? But with him, I think it's because he couldn't just take it. Because how they tell me their love story is my mother and my father, they met when they were both still very young. Right? So from there, they just knew each other and it was like a soulmate kind of situation. So now after my father losing his partner, then he started getting whether it's depression or a heart disease. And so I think the reason for his death is because of my mother. Yeah, the loss of my mother. Yeah. And then after that, after burying my father, then my sister started getting sick.
Jeez, bro.
Yeah. There was a point where, and we were like, what's going on? And the very same people that used to hate on us, they're like, aye, but we fell one by one. Right? You know, sometimes there's people who just feel proud about witchcraft. And I think you guys spoke about it in one of the interviews that people sometimes are just jealous. And they're jealous of the little that you have. Because it's not like we had anything. It's just that we could just afford a little decent life, which I still felt like it wasn't enough. Yeah. So I think it was out of hatred and just being spiteful for whatever reason. Yeah.
So that's why you got into depression now, because your sister is getting sick now.
Yeah, but the thing about that also, so I'm this kind of person, when something happens to me, I'm not responsive immediately.
Okay.
I'll only respond like later on.
Yeah.
So both my mom and dad, when I lost them, like I didn't cry, didn't feel anything.
Yeah, I didn't register.
Yeah. My mind didn't register that, like it didn't sink in. And then only later on, when I was done with varsity, because I completed my LLB degree.
Hey!
At University of Limpopo.
Shout out to you, bro.
Yeah,
I don't know what that means, but it sounds good.
No, it's a Bachelor of Laws.
Okay.
Yeah.
Aibo, LLP. Aibo. Man, dog, come on, man.
It sounds like a category on Pornhub, dog.
Oh, my BBW. BBC. Yeah, I get you.
XXX. Yeah, so I completed, and then later on, only when I came to Joburg, I think that's when a lot of my childhood memories and flashbacks started coming.
So
and at some point, it was too much.
When do you attempt suicide?
Okay, suicide was after my father.
Okay.
Yeah, after...
That's the first time, ne?
That was the first time. Yeah, I tried, and I think I was just going through a lot around that time. You know, sometimes you get to a point where you just feel like the world is closing up on you, where you don't see any way out. It's like you're in a tunnel, but there's no sign of light.
What did you do? Like, did you try hang yourself or?
The first time I actually chowed the hair relaxer thingy. What do they call it? Soften free.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I just ate a lot of it.
Whoa.
Yeah, and funny enough, it didn't do anything. Later on, they gave me milk or something to try and...
So that can kill you?
I don't know. I didn't know. I was just like anything that looks like a chemical.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, because I was young. I was like, I'm not sure if it's poisonous or not.
Sure.
What did your suicide note say, if you had one?
No, nothing. Nothing. Because I remember when my mother was sick and I could tell that there's a chance of losing this person, I made this prayer to God that instead of taking my mother, rather you take me, right? Because I can't imagine my siblings growing up without a parent. But with me, they can always have another child and actually name him Clement. You know what I mean? So I was like, I would rather be the sacrifice if there's any sacrifice to
Dude,
happen.
you're so young, you have to make a decision like that.
I did. I literally made that prayer.
Sure.
To say, God, rather uchien. Because my sister was pregnant by that time. Because she got pregnant when she was in high school. Which was also like a shame to some people to say, hey, my face, background there. As I'm talking about it, I'm actually picturing it in my head. That it was, it was just a lot.
So the soften free, does it make you sick or what? What happened?
Yeah, I think I passed out for a while. I started having like stomach cramps.
Okay.
Yeah, so I felt like, but then I was so weak. So I went home because I took it and I went to the bushes.
You're like, it's waking.
Yeah, I'm like, it's waking now. I'm going to go. So I was like, I'm going to go home and then lay on the bed and that's it. You know, never wake up. And then they woke me up. It's like, hey, dude, what's happening? And I was just holding my stomach and whatnot. I don't even remember what they gave me, but an hour later, I started, coming back. Yeah, there was no much damage that happened.
Second time?
The second time, I drove my father's, I want a Cressida.
Yeah, I want a
Yeah. Time aganela Cressida. So, because he, and this is illegal. So I used to take his car, go into the shops and whatnot.
Sure.
So I took his car, I went to the shops. As I was driving back, there was a bridge, Kopeli, and then there was a truck coming, right? In my head, I told myself that as soon as I approach that truck, I'm just going to swerve towards the truck.
No ways, bro.
No, that was me planning.
No way.
I'm telling you. So the truck is approaching, there's a bridge in between. So I'm just going to drive, and then as soon as I come across the truck, I'm just going to swerve towards it, and then whatever happens, happens.
No ways, bro.
Yeah. And then as that truck was, and this one, it will sound like I'm lying to you, and I'm not. As the truck was coming, and we were approaching that bridge, I closed my eyes, and I wanted to just execute my plan, right? From there, I don't know what happened. When I opened my eyes, the Cressida was the other side of the bridge, and then I looked back, the truck had passed. I could just see dust, right? The worst thing is the Cressida was on the side of the road parked. And remember, I'm driving alone. Yeah, parked, and I was just crying. But I don't remember exactly what happened. If I decided not, and then I stopped on the side of the road, or I don't remember any of that.
Those 5 minutes you can't.
Yeah, because I just switched off. Like I closed my eyes and decided that, you know what, that's it.
Yo, that's crazy, dog.
Oh, sorry.
Yo.
Yeah.
How do you overcome that, bro?
I think I started looking at my siblings to say, if I were to die now, what's going to happen to them? You know, so they started being my reason to start working hard. You know, to say, if I were to pass on, then I'm going to add pain onto the pain that they already have. Yeah, so I think they started being my drive to try and achieve and just work hard and become something.
Hey, Clement, you've been through a lot, dog.
Hey, Joe. And you know the funny thing, MacG, these things, as they were happening, I don't think my mind was registering a lot of them. I only started realizing later on, Hagetoma gave the flashback. I'm like, this happened. I'm like, yes, dude, you went through a lot as a child. And I realized that later on, how I, engage with other people, that sometimes I'll be too moody. Sometimes I'll just nap out of nowhere. I'm like, oh, it's because of those traumas that I never dealt with. Yeah.
And you never thought about seeing like a psychiatrist or anything? Obviously, from the village, you don't believe those things, no?
Nah, even like a massage thing, it was never a thing to say, let me just go and relax and, to wish him nahan. So only, I think 3 years back, that's when I started seeing like a therapist.
Is that helping?
Not really.
Nah.
I'll be honest. No, the thing is, if you go there with the mindset that it's going to help you, I think it will help you.
Yeah.
So, MacG because it's just a human being and is going through whatever challenges.
Yeah.
And the other thing, I had this mentality that they're going to want you to say what they want you to say. Or in say, I'm a failure, or I used to fail, and that's why today I'm this kind of person. So I just feel like they'll be dictating because they really don't know a lot about you. But what helped me was it helps you to open up and to face your challenges and everything that you went through.
Bro, let's talk about the good things, man. Hey.
Oh, yeah.
How do you get Skeem Saam, man? How do you become quieter? Because you were there from the jump, bro.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Yo, brah, Skeem Saam. So after varsity, I think when I was doing my final year, I told myself that, if you're dream an actor, then it means next year after completing my LLB degree, I will be forced to go and practice.
Yes.
And go to the practicals or
and
go
then
to
child,
school. Yeah, or I should forget about acting.
Yeah.
So I was like, what do I do? Then I started, because national access here, internet.
Okay.
Started searching for agencies and auditions.
You can use the laptop now.
Yeah. Now I was an expert now. Yeah, so I started searching a lot about acting, and then I used to see a lot of auditions because they used to post them on Facebook. Back then, I think it was just Facebook, yeah.
Yes.
So the first audition that I attended, it was Class Act. I don't know if you guys remember Class Act.
Class Act.
Yeah. That
And you don't have an agency at the time?
Nothing.
One man?
Yeah. Because I was doing my 4th year at varsity.
Okay.
So I was like, if I can start searching for agencies, then auditions, I'll go there and I'll rock them.
Yeah, I remember Class Act. There's quite a few people that came out from Class
Yeah,
Act.
Pelens Gaga, I think, did Class Act as well.
By the way, that was my first time coming to Johannesburg. So the auditions were in Pretoria State Theatre. I get there, there's a lot of people like Delay. So when I get there, I don't know anyone. As so sharp by that time. Right?
You just said telele now.
Yeah, as so sharp by that time. I don't know anyone, and then there's like small cliques, you know.
Yeah.
Solo MacG, yeah, bro, we're gonna do this. Others are rehearsing.
Who did you see in the queue?
No, then I didn't see any celebrities.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then I auditioned, and I made it through a couple of rounds. You know, first round, second round, third round. Because I remember the third round, actually, the person who interviewed me, or who auditioned me rather, Nele Mamheriet Manamel.
Ooh, nice.
You know her?
No, but it sounds nice. Do you know her?
No, bro, I don't. But I knew that was bullshitting this one. He doesn't know this
But I
person.
give him man. It sounds like someone important.
No, Mamheriet Manamela, she's actually a legend. She's the lady that I'm working with right now on Skeem Saam. Ke Mama Putle.
Maybe if I see her face.
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
done a lot in
probably
the
know the
industry.
face.
She's been in theater. She's done Andile and Ukuguno Andile. She has done a lot of movies like So Cool and Partners, which is another show that I wanted to be on because it's about law. So I was like, if I can be on So Cool and Partners, then I'll be able to, you know, flourish there.
What's her name? Let me.
Harriet Manamela.
I've seen this lady.
She's
man.
a legend.
She's
That one.
been on TV for a long time.
Let me see.
I'm told.
You got a
This
picture?
one, bro, yeah.
Just scroll right.
Yeah, so an audition, and then her remarks was that, no, you good. It's just that for this competition, I don't think you're the kind of image or the person that we're looking for. But the fact that you've made it through a couple of rounds, then it means that there's something there.
Wait, let me see this lady. Oh, I know her, man.
Where do you know her from?
From TV.
Okay.
Yeah.
MacG was shy.
No, man.
You're not
she's a
convincing me.
famous face.
I know.
Yeah.
The thing is, I know the faces, but the names.
The name, yeah.
it's-
Or maybe you know the character name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah.
Yeah, so she auditioned me then, and she gave me some nice remarks, and she actually gave me courage to say, listen, I believe that you're so talented, and this thing is for you. Right. Fast forward later when I get Skeem Saam. Or before Skeem Saam, I also went to the audition Selima Tunzi. Yeah, Selima Tunzi presents
What's that white guy's name? The one who owns Selima Tunzi.
Baby Joe.
Oh, yeah.
Baby Joe.
Yeah. I went to those auditions. They were at SABC, Auckland Park. When there, that's when I started seeing a lot of faces then. Yeah, I saw a lot of celebrities and I was very excited. It means I'm on the right track.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I also made it through a couple of rounds. I think one of the judges was Zizo.
Zizo Peta, yes.
She was one of the judges there. Made it through a couple of rounds there, and then unfortunately I didn't make it. From there I went back home. And you must remember that by that time I get Zag. So every time I get to Joburg, I have to ask money from my sister or my friends to say if to Joburg. You understand? And I remember after the audition, just Selima Tunzi because very late, around 5-6, Yamatapa. So now I go break. I don't know anything, but no taxi Limpopo Polokwan. Hey, ndoda uthini? Hey, Mazibuko, uthini lo mperu?
So you're like a Jimmy comes to Joburg.
Yeah, and I'm like, hey, bafethu didn't say. By that time, I guess say isiZulu.
Hey.
I understand. I had to ask around. Bafethu taxi.
And you don't know one in Joburg.
I want to so I came to Joburg, no cousins, no nothing. Yeah, I understand. Kifitla here, I want to so I went back to Polokwane.
Yeah.
So ban refer la ko MTN. Taxi rank. The next feature one of the guys who were speed. Then they could relate to what I want and whatnot. Then Bamponsa taxi shop. Then Kafaya Kawela Limpopo. Yeah. And then the 1 year Skeem Saam, when I auditioned for Skeem Saam, I saw the auditions go Facebook.
Sure.
Yeah. And by then it was not even Skeem Saam, nearly TEF.
Okay.
The working title. But TEF. I was like, okay, here are auditions and they're looking for a young boy will rolela spady, banyaka tibos, banyaka kwaito, banyaka mamas, like, this is a perfect chance for me.
Yeah.
Now this one I have to get it. And then I came to Joburg. The auditions were at Sasani Studios.
Yes.
You know Balfour Park.
By Balfour Park.
Yeah.
I've been there, yeah.
I went there. So can I make it
Right behind the mall.
Yeah. Kamarawa Balfour Park Mall. So can I make it taxi? How do you go call it drive? Driver so. It's like, I know that place, you know. It's not far from the freeway. So drop a go call it drive. It's just gonna walk like half a kilometer. One drop go Collet Drive. Bruh, it was raining.
Yo.
Right? Ke follow go Collet Drive. Ke tama ke botšiša. After 1 kilometer, I see that I'm still going. I'm like, how far is this place?
Yeah.
I get there, and then that's when I started seeing a lot of celebrities as well. Saw some familiar faces here and there, and then now I'm panicking because I'm very nervous. I'm like, hey, will I crack this thing or not? And then I went there. Funny enough, the script, because I was 21 years old.
Sure.
I auditioned for Lieto, character Lieto. And then when I got into the audition room, the lady who was the casting director said to me, "Wena mara unala matlhalenyana man, you're too young for this character. Let me give you another character." And then ampa script isa kwaito. And then ka shapa audition. Akufetja shapa audition, they just said thank you. So expecting or I'm not familiar with a lot of auditions. So I'm expecting or they'll clap for me and say, "Dude, you killed it." None of that.
And you felt like you killed
I
it.
felt like, no, I did my best. You understand? After that, Kavaga, Limpopo, but I was disappointed. I was like, I missed it. Hagi fitla go Limpopo, a day after, they call me. "Hey, Joe, we want you for callbacks." King it callbacks. I don't know what callbacks are. So I was like, okay, did I get the role? They're like, no, you just have to come back and audition for the second time. So we've shortlisted you. I came back. Hagi fitla kichuhile, unknown, because there's like top 5. Right? They say to me, we already have other characters. Honalebutiwos and whatnot, no shotaka kwaito.
Yeah.
So out of kwaito, there's 5 of you. By Lauren, you made it to the callbacks. Yeah. Ka audition, it was around 3 p.m. Now I'm like, yo, by that time I didn't even have chelete or right? I'm like, yo, if I can just get like 250.
You're asking the production company?
Yeah, the casting lady. Yeah. I'm like, hey, so Limpopo, I don't know anyone around, so can you please just give me bus fare? And then but also she said to me, no, we cannot allow you to go back to Limpopo because we're submitting the tapes to the channel.
Yes.
Then the channel has to decide who's going to be, who's taking this character. And at the same time, they said they're starting with the workshops the following day, right? So now if we were to let you go to Limpopo and then they choose you as the person who's going to play the character, then it means you still have to come back to Joburg. So can you please just try find a friend around? Or, a cousin, we can at least drop you there or Robalera, and then we'll give you the results the following day. I'm like, guys, how am I
Yes.
What am I supposed to do? So I think they negotiated, and then eventually they said, no, there's a guest house around Sasani Studios.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so we'll put you there in case. So if you get the role, then tomorrow we'll continue with the workshops. But if not, then you'll have to go back home, right? Hey, I got to the hotel room, Joe. There was this lady who came. Now you come on room service. Remember, I'm not used to this kind of lifestyle.
Speaking room service.
Room service, but what do you want? Nyaka papa. Nyaka papa ka mohodu, papa ka hot boat. Now, but this nice food, and then got a variety. I understand. I'm like, oh, this is nice. Clean towels and like proper. I'm like, hey, I can get used to this. So by 6, 7, the following day, okay, Joe, you got the role or you didn't. So I get TV, I start calling my sister to say, listen, I'm not gonna come back because 1, 2, 3, 4, this is the situation. Yeah. And then she's like, okay, it's fine, take care, all the best. Immediately for Jao phone la sister raka. Then the guy who was working for the production comes. The script, like 13 episodes. I'm like, okay, bro, what's happening? It's like, no, they just said I must give you the script.
Yeah.
So in my head, I'm like, no, because Honaldi call back and whatnot, it means I must also memorize this ones. Then it means tomorrow I audition a hap or something.
Yeah.
Not knowing where I got the role.
Whoa.
Then later the casting director calls me and say, dude, you got the role.
Wow.
Yo, my boy.
Wow.
I was so excited.
Yeah.
I was so excited. I called everyone that I knew.
First paycheck. What did you do with it? We boxed it,
I got ish. Can I tell you the story?
Yeah.
I didn't even get my first paycheck.
What do you mean, dog?
So the casting director, story saga. The casting director.
This nigga's life is a movie, bro.
The casting director, after Gisno Kumana role, she was like, oh, I have an agency to be on other shows and whatnot. I'll plug you in. So you have to sign under my agency, right? And then I was like, okay, because she was like an older woman.
Sure.
So for me, I felt like, this is the person who
can
took care
trust
of me and whatnot. I was like, okay, you can sign us. Negenalo Connect, my friend on the show. And then I was like, no, it's fine. It's chilled. You can, take over. And then she was my agent. She was the one who was representing me. And then, it's like, no, get the plan and whatnot. Kanti from there, she ran away with our money.
Whoa,
now, when I go to production to say, hey, man, but what's happening to us? They're like, no, but you have an agency. Then that's when I told them, right, that person who did so. And then we couldn't find her. Till this day, I don't know where she is.
Whoa.
I'm telling you. Yeah.
So eventually when you do get the money, what do you do with it?
The first paycheck, what did I do? Oh no, I spoiled myself. Yeah. Because it's like all these things that I always wanted to get.
Yeah.
Now is the perfect time for me to buy Levi's Sinyana,
Yeah.
Air Force Sinyana. So yeah, I spoiled myself. But I also
deserved it, dog.
Yo. High though, or at least yeah.
How did you feel about the passing of Patrick Shai?
Oh, yo. Hey, my brother, yes, sis. It was too much. I don't want to lie to you. Especially how it happened, because the first time, when that video was trending, right? So when I was doing the second season, so with Skeem Saam, first time we're meeting all these people, like Mam Diegetse Munisi, she was in Sarafina, Mam Heret Manamela, Africa Tswai, all these big names, from Bunkweshe, Sepopeloke Sempeo. Yeah, this cast, TV, so now I'm working with them. Okay, sharp, but they were so welcoming because to say, no, we'll nurture you guys, we'll take care of you. So they took care of us, and from there it felt like they're no longer colleagues, we now family. Right, so Bartlogomela, and then first season we done shooting. And then I remember our director never Micha Nomen.
Yeah.
Not you. Nomen MacG. A very, 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 very cool gent. He took care of us, and after our rap, they said it's a picture rap. He said to us, hey, Bafetu, product, but there's a lot of shows that I've shot in the past, and they sometimes don't make it to the channel. Right? So I'm not sure if your show will eventually air on TV. And I started having doubts that maybe one day I'll be on TV, maybe not, because this person is telling us there's that chance. But I think he was just preparing us. Okay, sharp. And then from there, Skeem Saam to go TV, everything is sharp. And then after that first season, now we're not sure what's going to happen. And then by that time, I decided to utilize my LLB degree. So I was working as a legal advisor for some company, Mosantine. And then 2 months into it, I couldn't take it anymore, my boy. I was just like, this is not for me. Because everyone is so reserved, like, how quiet? I wanna the whole quiet. How quiet? I wanna dance. I just wanna engage and talk and perform. But that environment wasn't for me, and I was like, I'm not gonna do this anymore. So I decided to quit. You know what I mean? Yeah. So from there, I decided that I'm gonna do this, and then I quit with no plan. Now back home, I get life yak, and then they call us for a second season. Now when they call us for a second season, they say. Because first season we were talking about quiet or not having a father and whatnot. Now they say the father is coming back. And then guess what? Ntate Patrick Shai. No, I was starstruck, Joe. I want to lie to you. Ntate Patrick Shai.
Legend.
Joe. I was like, and he was so cool. It's like, hey, Melaiti, didn't sanda. From there, like, we became like father and son. And also because by then I had also lost my real father. So he became that father for me.
Wow, in real life?
Yeah.
Wow.
No, he was very, very, very chilled. Like, Nele out man, Tate Patrick like mchito hey, are fericho shoot hey, are go so way to rebet around to go Sakumzi go and just let me show you Joe back. You understand? So we had that relationship up until second season. He was no longer with us at Samaili to other productions, but we kept in touch. We'd talk, because I remember he once invited me to. He was a part of this, an ambassador for. Not Act Now. There's the other one. There's this campaign, man, about
GBV, right?
Yeah, that one. He invited me.
He
Invited me to go there and also be a speaker, and then we kept the relationship pretty much. And then when I saw that he was trending for that video, I was like, hey, time. And then I tried to call him. By that time, I couldn't get a hold of him, right? Because later on, he also came to Sasani because he was shooting Seven Dilan, which is the same premises. Yeah. So we used to hang out and just catch up. So now I'm phone like I'm like, hey, I'm really worried. I don't know if it's a public stunt, this thing that's happening or what's going on, but I was very, very, very worried. Jiggy, go shoot a location. And then our publicist, one phone, or Ejo, 1, 2, 3, 4 happened. And I was like, no, get out of here. What you mean?
There's no way.
Yeah, there's no way. You know, sometimes there's people that you never even think that they can pass on. Not that anyone is immune to death. You know what I mean? But some people, you look at them, you're like, Saul, there's no way. You know what I mean?
So you never got to speak to him?
Yeah. After that, we didn't speak. So, and I just asked for 30 minutes of spanning just to go to the car and then, you know, let it sink. And then from there, I decided, or you know what, it is what it is. And I couldn't even go to the funeral because I was in a very dark space. I think that's when I was going through depression as well. Yeah.
And then now, from the Village Boy to Skeem Saam, because Skeem Saam is a massive, massive production. How do you handle the fame? Because you got girls sending you nudes now. You know, it's crazy.
Mara, this guy. It's lit.
I get he's married now. Right? It's not on brand.
So yeah, man. I think growing up also because of a lot of rejection. When I be feel hey, I wanna entertain abanyana and I never had attention, right? So now go Skeem Saam, how well I back to Jobe, I mean to Polokwane. Hey, now everyone, you are this person, like you are a god now. So everyone is like, hey, Kwaito and whatnot. I'm like, what's this thing? But because I also knew that there's what we call a celebrity status.
Sure.
So I started saying, so it means work a celebrity. But by that time, I'm going to look oloijo.
Sure.
So celebrity marona mechi taxi. Kamo taxi ngamo kwa travel la kamera. Yellow. Kwaito.
Hey, I know those vibes.
Yeah, and you're just thinking, hey, Bafit. The other time, celebrity you know. So there was a lot of, I think it was a fair share of advantages and disadvantages, you know, where some people are giving you like nice energy and then some people are just negative about everything. It's like, I want to because they expect you to like be flashy and then have money and live the celebrity lifestyle. You know what I mean? So I went through a lot of that, and second season, that's when I think it sank in. Alright, man, you're a celebrity now. Not necessarily a celebrity, because even today I don't like the term celebrity.
And you're on season 11 now, ne?
Yeah. It's been more than a decade.
Round of applause, man.
Hit that thing. Hit that thing.
Let's talk about the music. Are you a DJ or you're an artist?
No, I'm not a DJ.
You're an artist.
Yeah.
When did you get into music?
So growing up, I think So cracking, I used to be part of the worship team. At some point, I was a conductor, a music conductor for a CO at University of Limpopo. So, because the story is, University of Limpopo, I used to attend acting classes on the side, you know, just as a part-time thingy. So there was a drama group where they used to do like poetry, they used to do music, they used to do acting. So I was a part of that drama group. And then that's where I started doing music, because we'll have like a musical on stage. And then I felt like, okay, I think I like this thing. So later on, when I came to Joburg, because acting came first, I was like, okay, let me not do music right now, because I need people to recognize me for something. You understand? Because when you get into the industry and you're doing a whole lot of things all at the same time, it's like, what's even yeah. I mean, today you're saying you are a writer, tomorrow you're always like, you're just trying to, you know, test the waters. So I decided that let me focus on acting, but also establish myself as an actor first.
Yeah, and then later podcaster,
on. Yeah, radio, now, yeah.
TV.
So, exactly.
Soul season. It's called Soul season, bro. This nigga.
Nice one.
So, how do you end up working with King MONADA?
King MONADA, Joe. So after my first single, because Nelugo TV, music channels, and I used to gig a lot in Limpopo. Even today, I gig a lot in Limpopo.
At home, though.
Yeah, so back then, I also used to MC a lot. So I was emceeing this event, and I met this guy. By then, next time I'd say, yeah. And then there's this guy. From the car driving in, he was driving a black Mercedes-Benz.
Whoa.
From the car driving in, the whole stadium started screaming. I'm like, hey, is there a president here? What's happening? Right? And then I'm like, but King. I'm like, hey, who's this guy?
During which stage is this? Dibala?
Before Idibala.
Okay.
Because he was more big in Limpopo before Idibala.
Yes. Yeah. Like MacG.
Yeah. So everyone is just shouting, King. And then I'm thinking, okay, maybe Kekhoshia, that area. And then Ofolo MONADA, a very tiny guy, very tall. I'm like, hey, is that the king? They say, yeah, I'm King Monada. And then I'm introduced. Hi, what on Dumerish? No, I know you and whatnot. Then we started talking. We exchanged numbers. And then fast forward, I started seeing him a lot. Go to eventing till Idivala. So when Idivala popped, I was like, by then he was already my boy. So we started talking a lot. Every time I go to Limpopo, I call him, hey, Dinsang, I've got a gig, let's go together. I understand. That's where the friendship started. And
man, we got to get King Monada on, bro.
Yeah, no, it's long overdue, bro.
Plus Saul lied. I watched this other episode where Saul said, King Monada is just a performer. And I'm like, that guy is a
Here's the one
producer.
Who lied. Mac lied. I said he's a producer.
Yeah.
He's a producer.
Listen, Monada is an amazing producer because the first time he invited me to studio, I get there, it's like, what do we do? It's like, okay, I'll come up with a concept. I'm like, what do you want to talk about? Because also for me, music is about storytelling.
Sure.
I'm like, I need to share my story. I'm like, how about we do a song about from poverty to nice life, right? And then we did a song called Good Life. Got there, I wrote down a couple of lyrics, and then it's like, okay, this is how the beat is going to go. He started literally everything from scratch.
Wow.
Literally.
What program does he use?
It was Cubase.
Cubase.
Yeah. Started everything. Yeah, everything from scratch.
Why are you saying damn?
Because Cubase is not easy. Like, you need to like play the music. It's not
it
like
harder
FL.
than Reason?
It's, I don't know Reason, but Cubase, it's almost like Logic.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like FL.
Yeah.
FL is a bit.
Yeah.
The drums are easy to make there. Cubase.
FL's for beginners, yeah.
No, what do you mean, bro? The whole of FL has made billions of rands in piano. What do you mean? FL is huge. Yo, bro, stop it, man. What do you mean? What are you talking about, dog? Hit something of FL.
Sure, we rocked the studio, and then Ratsena Dara recorder. I think one take. Right? From there, we came up with this song called Good Life, and then we went 50-50. It's like, yo, let's produce this song. It's not Monada featuring Clement. It's not Clement featuring Monada. It's like a Clement and Monada. So we shot a music video same time, loaded it on YouTube. From there, it started getting a lot of streams. I think we're sitting at 2.2 million streams right now on YouTube.
Wow. Shout out. Man.
Yeah, and it was not on TV, it's not on radio. So started getting a lot of gigs in Limpopo. So now every time I go to Limpopo, it's like, come, let's rock the studio. So even now, but he's a producer because he's got like, 1 million something songs, even unreleased songs. Because Monada, he wakes up, get into the studio, just record music. Literally every single day he's recording.
Who you fucking with now, music-wise? Producers, songs, artists, who you...
Because ona le genre ya ko Limpopo, like
Yes.
MacG, Monada, so I relate a lot with that. But for me, I've been into Afro soul and stuff. So that's the music that I listen to a lot. But in terms of artists, I think it's Monada and MacG because they are from Limpopo, but also I'm friends with them, so it's easy for me to, I sound like I'm almost biased because these are the people who are my friends, but because I'm exposed to behind the scenes, how they do their music, how their music is selling, and how they're just killing it against all odds. So for me, I'm like, I sort of like relate to them. Yeah, so, but when it comes to piano, there's a lot, man. Taliwong, who's this one? Nkosasana daughter now.
Lovely.
Young Star now. Masterpiece. There's a guy called Masterpiece, ne? And I feel like he's underrated. For me, he's very, very, very great.
I don't know.
And then the one who tops it off, MJ.
MJ.
Yo.
MJ.
You don't know MJ?
That was on the ski chap.
Yo, that guy is
Fuck,
too
I
much.
love MJ,
Yo,
bro.
that guy is too much.
Yo,
that guy is too much.
yeah.
Can I tell you something?
Yo, every song is a guy.
Yo, yeah.
Every song is on.
You say he's a guy.
No, I'm asking.
But you say you love his music.
No, I don't know if it's a guy or girl.
Oh, no, he's a
but
guy.
But I know whenever, when he comes on a track, he changes the whole...
to MJ's too much.
Yeah.
MJ's too much.
I would love to work with MJ, bro.
Rocky Studio Leon, you want to rock with him?
Yes.
Do you sing, do you produce, what do you do?
Produce.
Oh, and put your name on it?
Yes.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, he produces names of songs. He names the songs.
Oh, but MJ, honestly speaking, I'd love to work with MJ,
he's
man.
crazy, man. He's crazy.
Who's talking Limpopo?
Yeah. No, he's from Norman.
MP.
Pumalanga.
Oh,
Yeah.
Pumalanga, okay.
Yeah, so he's one person when it comes to piano for me. It's like,
Yeah.
shit. Yo, MJ, my boy. So it's in the studio last week. So there's a song that will be releasing the coming month.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too much. It's too much. I'm a kitties, you know.
I'm a kitty.
Yeah, it's too much. That
How does he work, bro?
It's chilled.
Does he write it down or?
Yeah. Yeah, we got into studio, and then I had already done 2 or 3 songs.
Sure.
Right? I was like, yo, Joe, there's these songs. I don't know if you want to jump on them or what. And then it's like, let me listen to the songs. Listen to the first one. It's like, all right, cool. Second one, it's like, okay. Third one, it's like, okay, I hear you, but let's try something else.
Okay.
Then we started a song from scratch. Right? That guy. Yo. He wrote like from the first verse to the second verse and the chorus. He was just going and going and going.
So all those things he writes.
Yeah. So he gets there, and then obviously like the vibes are okay, you know, break the ice and whatnot, and then he start coming with melody and rhymes and whatnot. From there he just jot down like few things. From there when he gets onto the booth, it's gone. And I was like, hey, this guy. So I was like, man. This guy. So now I'm like, hey, the pressure is too much. What do I do after this song? I'm like, maybe it was a bad idea. I was like, I know it, but that guy is amazing, man.
Yeah.
That guy is great.
So now, if you had to choose between a world tour, music-wise, or Skeem Saam, because you can't do both, which one would you choose?
It's a tough one. So at this point, because remember I said to you that eventually I want to fully get into music, right? So obviously one need to be compromised. I've established myself as an actor. I'm an award-winning actor. So for me, I'm like, okay, now people know me as an actor. So let me show them that I'm passionate about music and I really love music. So I think I'll go on a music world tour.
Sure, not music.
I might go to the UK. But here's the thing: people, but boxer.
Yeah.
Just because you are a broadcaster now, you can't be a DJ, you can't do 1, 2, 3, 4. But for me, I'm an artist.
It's
right?
all intertwined.
Yeah, but as an artist, all you do is to just show your creativeness.
You're creative, yeah.
I understand. So tomorrow, if they say I must write a script because I used to attend acting classes, you know, I think I can still write a script. You know, it's about the passion and the creativity. So for me, I'm like, I'm not gonna allow people to tell me what to do. Why is it that in the US you find artists who are performers, actors, all of them,
Tyrese, bro,
yeah, Jamie Foxx, Will Smith, all of them. You know what I mean? Yeah, even Beyonce acting, and so for me, I'm just like, why should we now be, you know, boxed to say this is what you can do? Don't go that direction. Yeah,
We're going to play a game now, man. It's called Smash or Pass. Are you ready?
ready? Hey, those games, they're very tricky.
Not even, man.
Simple,
Not even. Here we go. Smash or Pass. Shoki Molla.
Mola.
Would you smash or pass? He smashed.
Nah, he's definitely smashed. Don't laugh like that when you're gonna.
I saw. Tell it. The reason why
I love that.
the reason why I get
What does that mean?
because so it's like you're putting me in an awkward situation because she's an elder. Yeah, so I'll pass.
You've never smashed an elder?
No.
Serious?
No.
You like them young?
No. Yeah, I see where you're going now.
He's a late bloomer. When he bloomed, his elders were 60.
No, my boy, pass. We passing. Yeah.
Okay. Mukhao Muhlat.
Smash.
Smash, ne?
Yeah.
Ne? Would you smash, so?
I don't know her.
My pizza on the show.
Who?
My pizza.
Clearly you don't watch Skeem Saam, eh?
Hey, my man. Who? Muhao.
Mukhao?
Yeah, Muhao. Mutlat, yeah.
Muhao Mutlat.
Yes. You've never done a kissing scene with her, no?
No.
Yeah.
So on the show, I kissed, I think, 4 or 5 girls.
Damn, dog.
Yeah.
Are they
It
good
was,
kisses?
Now you
Oh,
generalize.
smash. Wait, what do you mean, man? Smash.
Hey, chief.
You
Hey,
see?
chief. Hey,
Yeah,
hey,
no.
hey.
Muhao, yeah,
Order.
smash, bro. Yeah. Smash. Kamutati.
And the way you said it, smash.
Yeah, smash. Ka smash.
Kiss Skeem Saam
Yeah, I
now.
was-
Yes, you've kissed too?
There's this great artist, Rachel Kunutu on the show. I think quite Uchujilena. And then Amanda DuPont, Amanda Manku, Glenda
Was Amanda a
Nozilanga.
good kisser?
But that question is also relative, eh? Because depending how you describe a good kisser.
So
I know I'm a good kisser.
So it was tongue and everything?
No, you know the show.
Yeah?
Yeah, we don't go in deep.
So you didn't kiss her then?
Yeah, then it's okay. Yeah.
Kimba?
Yeah.
Amanda DuPont. Smash or pass?
Yeah, smash.
Smash, ne? You gotta, dog. You gotta. Take one for the team.
Yeah.
Nandipa Kubone.
Who's Nandipa now?
Nandipa Kubone. Google.
Nandi
for it.
Pakubone.
She's on what show is she on? Gomorrah. Yes, she's on Gomorrah.
Ooh. What's
Teddy's
the
sister, ne? Teddy's
what's-
sister on Gomorrah. Get a picture?
Yeah, please let me see.
Yeah.
Aye.
All right.
King, I'm told.
Yeah, I'm told about these pictures. I got to me. To make it to me. As soon as you Google their name,
Yeah.
you get automatic pictures. Here you have to go to Google Image.
Why are you laughing? Hey, this guy knows a lot.
Yeah,
he knows some shit
I
we
think this
don't
one is
know.
smashed.
Smash.
You smashed.
Yeah.
Ne? Why were you laughing though?
You feel like land trap.
Why?
Aye. You know, sometimes you go to a show and you feel like, this question, there's some like ulterior motives in Yana to
Oh,
say.
dog, we know
okay,
nothing, dog.
Okay, cool. Smash.
Is there something there?
No, nothing. Nothing. No, nothing. Nothing.
All right, cool. So why would we be trapping you?
No,
Oh, bro. Clement. Oh, my man. You're making things up. Hey, what's happening?
Last one.
Last one, Natasha Tahane.
Oh. I pass.
Ah.
What do you mean,
Natasha.
Hot.
Yeah, but already I've smashed 3, right? So I'm trying to balance the equation.
You worked with her because she started Skeem Saam.
Yeah,
right?
man. I think she started there. She was still getting into the industry. She was very young and whatnot. We worked for a good, I think it was 3-4 years. Yeah. So that's why I'm like, pass, because I've worked with her.
Yeah.
She's more of a sister.
Yeah. How did you feel when she was training about that whole...
Mambalega giving her like money to go study, and it was like government funds and stuff.
Hey, nah,
helping
no.
her, rather, helping her.
I know Steve. But I know that I'm blocked somewhere on social media. Yeah.
By
She
who?
blocked you.
Yeah.
By who?
Hey.
She blocked you.
Yeah, because I woke up one day, I'm like, hey, I don't know what's happening. But I think there's a good reason for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's sad, man, because you guys started together, man.
Yeah. No, she's still my sister because, I support most of her work. I remember she did a gospel show called Vets. And I was there, as a guest. And she used to come to my birthday celebrations as well because I do annual birthday celebrations. So we cool. It's just that maybe she was just going through whatever she's going through.
Yeah, man.
Because also, I think around that time, there's also like a lot of, clout and, people saying this and that. So maybe that's why she decided to just keep her peace.
Are you EFF or ANC?
I'm neutral.
You're neutral. But you've been at EFF rallies.
Yeah, I've been at almost every political party thing. Because remember, I'm an artist. So if you call me for my services, I'm going to come and provide my services. But
So it doesn't mean that you support EFF.
Yeah.
So why are you
No, I'm
neutral?
not saying I'm not supporting it.
Yeah.
Right. I'm an artist. So when whoever calls me for my
course.
services, I will go.
Yeah. So why are you in between EFF and ANC?
No, there's also DA, there's also Action SA and whatnot. I'm saying to you as an artist, if there's a political party that want my services,
Oh, but as Clement, who do you support?
I support any great leader.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't matter who you are affiliated with. Yeah.
And who do you
For
think?
as long as you listen to the youth and you represent us, because as a leader, I believe that we nominate you to go and represent us.
Who's a good leader now?
Ooh. There's a lot of good leaders. Yeah.
What a cop out. What a cop out. There's a lot of good. No, there aren't.
Hey, I know Stevie, but hey, I know Steve.
All right, man. Let's talk about your foundation. What are we busy with now? What's going on, man?
So remember after being on TV,
Yeah.
I think it was 2012, I started going back to rural areas, especially the schools that are more underprivileged, to say I need to go there, and share my story, hopefully to just motivate the youngsters and make sure that we keep the fire burning, just assist them wherever we can for them to unleash their full potential, right? So I started going to schools, motivating kids, and then I realized that excuse me, I realized that a lot of time I go there and motivate them, and sometimes they get excited that they see this personality, but we leave them with just words. So I decided that I need to start, asking for donations so that when I go there, when there's challenges, whether sanitary towels or stationery or school shoes, then I can be able to give them that. So fast forward, I registered a foundation called Bakhetwa Foundation. So we started, asking for donations to this big companies or institutions. So whenever I go and do motivation, I see what is it that they need, and then I help them. So in 2020, I paid, let me say we, because as the chairperson or the CEO of the foundation, there's also people that I work with. So we donated, I can't remember the amount, but we paid registration fee to 10 students just to get registered into an institution of higher learning. And then last year during the looting and the pandemic, we also went to different orphanage centers, and then we were donating food parcels and everything that they needed around that time. So the aim is just to find a Clement out there who need a little bit of assistance, for them to achieve their goals. So it's something that's close to my heart. But I'm also working with other foundations like Imbumba Foundation, at some point Nelson Mandela Foundation, where I just work with them to go and give back to the society. Actually, with Nelson Mandela Foundation and Imbumba Foundation, I went to Tanzania and summited Kilimanjaro.
Yeah, you climbed the Kilimanjaro.
One to like him.
That's dope, man.
So the aim was.
How was that like climbing Kilimanjaro?
Oh, it was great. I think I don't know what to expect, because around that time, it was shortly after we have lost Gugu Zulu. So a lot of people, were saying, dude, are you sure about this thing? Because when you get there, there's a chance of you not making it back, and.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I was just so determined, because I think I was at a point in my life where I was just going through a lot, my boy, and I felt like I was immune to pain, and I was at a space where I felt like I don't care if I die or not. I'm doing it for a good cause, right? So when I went there, the aim was just to go there and raise sanitary towels to, go give back to those girls and just, give them confidence, so that they don't get to miss a day of school because of the menstrual cycle, which is a natural thing. So that was the aim, to say I'm doing it for this, for a girl child, right? When I got there, it was so hard that I even forgot about it. So we spent, I think, 7 days there. So on day 3, we were acclimatizing and whatnot. That's when I started feeling like, oh God, I'm not okay. I wanted to quit. And I started thinking that, no, man, I'm not a loser. And this is going to determine my life moving forward. Because if I can conquer this, after coming back from Kilimanjaro, there's nothing that I can't conquer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it that hard, dog?
It is, because remember, it's always minus the weather. Always minus whatever degrees Celsius. So it's super, super cold. And at the same time, it's like you are away, you have your phone, but there's no network, you're not communicating to your family.
How long did it take to climb to the top?
I think it was 3 days going and then 2 days coming back.
No fucking ways. Why would you do that, dog?
So you're sleeping in tents?
Yeah, there's like little huts there. So first day, we just walk, and then...
So you can walk like
from
24
early
hours?
in the morning, yeah?
You can walk for like 24 hours?
Yeah, not 24 hours, maybe 12 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, so from 6 in the morning, we wake up, breakfast, and the food that side, it's not the one.
There's no pub?
Yeah. So we wake up from 6, let's say, in the morning, and it's misty, and so we wake up, there's no bathroom, no shower, no nothing, right?
So where do you do number 2, number 1?
Just in the bush there. Yeah. And then there's wipes, obviously, that you carry just to, Yeah, so you do that, and then you just walk in the whole day, and you stop around 1 or midday, and then you have lunch. After lunch, you continue walking. So it's just a day of walking, and it's different terrains and different hills, and sometimes it's rocks, sometimes it's sand, sometimes it's trees, just before you get there. So the following day, you wake up, you do the same thing. And even the little huts that we sleep in, there's a lot of... So it's a lot of us. You meet in these people that some you trained with, some you don't know, you just met there as one group, and then you get there. At night, I couldn't even sleep at all, because my mind was just on this thing that I want to see myself on top of the mountain. So every day you wake up. But I think the summit night is the one that's a little bit more difficult.
What's at the top? What do you see from the top?
You go above the clouds, right?
Whoa.
So you just see, like when you're in a plane,
Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't see houses, you don't see mountains, nothing. You're just like above the clouds. Yeah. And luckily when I went there was no ice. There was just a bit of ice, here and there. But the pictures that I've seen before, you're literally on top of ice.
That's
because the ice covers
crazy.
the whole mountain on top.
Would you do that, so?
Yeah. Never.
Nah.
What am I doing?
Why?
Why am I going on a mountain, bro? Like, what am I doing, man?
Just to try find purpose, because sometimes life challenges you to a point where you're like, I just need something that's going to redefine my life.
there's so much purpose here on land. There's so
What kind
much
of purpose? Yeah.
family.
Road killing. Yeah.
children, school fees, so much purpose.
Yeah, but you need
Podcasts.
something to drive you to get to those things. Because all along,
Hey,
I think
man.
my drive was just getting out of poverty and whatnot. But I was at a point where I felt like, okay, now that I've achieved ABC, whatever dream house and,
got the
few
car, you
possessions,
got the
I've got
house.
all those things. So I'm like, I no longer have that, zeal and the desire to just, keep on going when it comes to life. So I was like, I need something that's going to define my purpose. But I've done a couple of things. I used to run a lot because I grew up an athlete. So I used to run, go skolong, and then I was part of the vitality thing, just running marathons, 21. The last one I did was 42 at Soweto, the Soweto Marathon. I did Omdi Dam as well. So it was 21, 41. I was like, okay, now I'm going for Comrade in 2019. And then 2020, that's when they said there's COVID and we couldn't do Comrade Marathon. So I decided, okay, because I'm not going to do I'm not going to do the marathon, then I might as well just do Kilimanjaro. So I'm always trying to find things that are going to challenge me and redefine my purpose on earth.
No, love it, man. Penduka,
Yeah.
you got a question?
Yeah, man. How are you now with your father's side of
Hey, man,
father's
I'm
side of
hanging
the
around
family?
you too much. Eh?
Hey.
Yeah, bro. That was my last question.
For real, yeah. How are you now? How are you now with those guys? And do your siblings still stay opposite their house?
So my father's house was back in Bochum. So after losing both my parents, we decided to move and went to my maternal side of the family.
Great decision.
So that's where we are with my granny. Everything is perfect there because my aunt, they welcomed us as their own kids. From there things became, a lot more easier. But since there was no one who got sick, everything was just normal. I mean, it's been 15 or 17 years now. Yeah. So things started being okay. I'm taking care of my siblings and Tilodisha.
Oh, man. Clement, thank you so much, man. I think you're a true example of that. What do they say, man? You're not a product of your environment. Ne?
Yeah. They say your background does not determine your future.
Yeah, man. Dog, you've lost so many people, bro.
Yeah, and I still lose people because when I got into the industry, I made friends, There's a guy that I met, he was shooting at Sasani. His name is Dumi Masilela. We became friends. Yeah, and then he passed on. And this is somebody who was close to me around that time, and I just felt like I keep on losing people. And then the recent one was also Akumzi Chezile, who was...
Hey, chess man.
Yeah. Great guy, great personality. And he also passed on. So it's like, it's gotten to a point where you sort of like get used to
You're
death.
numb.
Yeah, and you get to a point where you don't even like cry anymore.
That's not normal, bro.
Yeah, it's not. But also with COVID, the same thing started happening.
Yeah.
Because December 2020, I went to Cape Town with a friend of mine who actually encouraged me to go to Kilimanjaro. We did Kilimanjaro together. So December 2020, we took our kids to Cape Town for a week. Right. When we got back, I had a camp at my farm in Limpopo. Right. So
Wait. My farm?
yeah. Oh shucks.
You got a farm. Bro.
Okay, no, it came out. Next up, flex.
That's a major flag.
Yeah. So from Cape Town, we decided that we're gonna go to.
Imagine you had your farm right opposite your in-laws.
Hey. Oh, nah, that's bad. A few years uzoba yumfama.
Yo.
Also glory yumfama, bro.
So back to the story. Aye, was it? Come back. So we went to the farm. Arifitara, we have a camp there, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Friday, Arifitara, everything is sharp. This guy started saying he's not feeling well. So I'm just thinking it's the fatigue, because everything was okay and whatnot. Second day, I can tell or sharp. Right, third day, the camp, everything is sharp. Oh, like we party like nobody's business. Actually, you guys must come to the next camping.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. I'll send you guys an invite.
As long as it's not Kilimanjaro.
Yeah, as long as we're not climbing mountains.
No,
man.
it's just nice tents there. We sit
only
around
one
the
summit.
fire. We can do like a young.
We're willing to entertain.
It's actually. Yes.
For real, man. We ain't trying to climb a mountain. Got a mountain of problems already.
No, but also there's mountains there, so we can do like a young hike, like 2 kilometers. Or so.
That's fine.
But it's not compulsory.
No, that is fine. That's fine.
Yeah, so but it's nice. It's called Deterring Adventures. That's my other thing. So we're trying to just build it so that it can be like an adventure site where people can come, tourists and stuff.
Love it,
Yeah,
man.
maybe one day we can apply to the government to just give us money
Man,
and
fuck
make
the
money there.
government. They ain't gonna do shit for you.
Yeah, so the story with this guy, we get there and then we finish the whole camp thingy. And then the second day after the camp, he says, Ish, I'm not okay. I'm like, I get fatigue, get December, I rest and whatnot. Jiggy sends me a message. He says he's admitted, right? And around that time, I was like, hey, when somebody's admitted in hospital, it's never good, right? Fast forward 3 days later, actually, I spoke to him, I think on the third day, and I video called him on WhatsApp. So you're talking, hey, sharp. And then later on, I get and then I video called. He couldn't talk because he had like that thing here, the oxygen pipe.
Yeah.
And then he couldn't say anything because I think he had drips as well. And then he just did this to me on the video.
Sure.
I was like, okay, no, we're hardship, but the following day. The following day in the morning, I get a message that this guy passed on.
Jeez,
right?
bro.
And I was with him, literally. And then I went and tested, and it was positive, but they said I'm, what's the term? Asymptomatic. So now if you're it's like COVID, like my body doesn't respond to
I'm
it.
the same as you.
Yeah. What is it? Kilimpopo, ne?
I think it's a Limpopo thing.
Yeah.
We are strong genes.
Yeah. So yeah, it was just me answering you that there's a lot of people around me that, sometimes you know somebody.
Man, I feel like
and
I
then
might
you
not
build-
wake up tomorrow because I touched you, man. Hey.
what are you saying,
Hey,
Chief?
man.
What are you saying?
This guy.
No, man. Mona, I believe high, and when such things happen, I don't think there's any human being who's got so much power
Yeah, you're right.
to take one's life.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So,
In closing, man, what do you want to be remembered as, bro?
hey, this question, and I think I foresaw it coming.
You're a chiller, man. You
Yeah.
respect-
So
I'm sure
for
you
me,
practiced,
and
No, he's trying
listen,
to act like he didn't practice. But he knows the question is coming.
No, because I thought about it, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I want to be remembered as this guy who defined the odds. And I was like, now for me, I want to be remembered for how you want to remember me. So if MacG met me and I was like an asshole to him, then MacG must remember me like that. If there's somebody I've never met and they remind me as that guy who shared his story, they must remember me the way they want to remember me, because I'm just living my life fully, and I know there's a lot of people who are watching and they know my life. So if you have had an encounter with me, whether it was nice or bad, then that's a memory you must have, and you must remember me with that. That's how I want to be remembered.
Love it, man. Thank you so much, Clement.
Awe.
Can
Thank
we
you
just
so
flex
much.
on them for a minute, man? How many houses you got, yeah? Come on. Come
No,
with it. Come
man,
with it. Come with it.
no, MacG, don't do that.
You know he stays at Stain City.
Damn!
Yeah,
That's a
man.
lie. No. No, listen, now I'm a hustler. I always tell my people, all right, guys, I paid more than 4 toll gates to come to Joburg, so I'm here to hunt. I can have the freedom of just waking up and say, I want to go to Dubai and not worry about reporting for
shat on.
Yeah, so there's a couple of, properties and yeah.
Cars? How many cars you got?
Yo.
Don't look at Norman.
Aye, Joe, you put me on the spot.
How
because-
many cars? Just
No,
name.
I wanna
Just name
inspire the
number.
kids.
Yeah, dog.
No, let's just say I have cars. That's it. No, my fit. You know social media.
No,
Can I get
but
to
Clement,
social media? They're gonna
you can't
get
speak about your struggles and not embrace the good things.
The victory.
Why do I
The
have to
victories.
Because for me, I don't want to be defined by my possessions.
I don't think
not.
no one. We're just trying to show people that this is where you came from and this is where you are now. This is what's
Yeah.
possible.
Okay, there's a reason, right? There's 3 cars. The other one is a bike for the farm. No, but I'm telling you, no, whatever you want. You see. But you must hear me. I'm saying the baki, right? And then there's the one you show your span, and then you travel like gigi.
Hey.
That's pretty much it. Yeah.
How many cars you got, so?
Hey, man. Hey, man. Hey, man.
Saul has more gigs than cars.
But okay,
How many houses do you have,
So
man?
Uvaka
I use Uber. Everybody knows. I Uber. I Uber
so
around.
Uber ya Mpumalanga for a gig.
No. I book an H1.
Yeah.
Hey, okay.
Result-
But the same amount you shumisha ngobuka dikoloi, you might as well.
No, but we
Yes.
never thought we'd gig again.
Oh.
Yes.
So now that we started to give, we're like, hey,
Yeah.
maybe we should just invest.
So
in
maybe
that.
Yeah,
the first
we're
paycheck
thinking of getting
you
one,
can
man.
just buy a package.
What is that? What is that? What is that? Is this the full interview? All right.
No.
I want to be remembered as motherfuckers. What is this now?
Hey man, we are here, podcast and chill.
Welcome to Black Excellence. Do not fear, for if you do, just sip on some grandeur. And if you still do, ask ourselves, what would Mapapunzi do? Parama chila, itlasha lefiki. Ungoyiki, even if when they ask you, how sabi ini? Do not fear, for if you do, just say, Anistivi. This is the medicine of censorship. This is the pill. Which one is that one? Podcast and chill.